Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the Mark Hope Show.
We got a special show tonight. You're all our guests. We've got no guest host in the studio. So we are going to be doing a call-in show. And Daniel will have to ask me to put my headphones on.
That's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Because I hate the headphones. But this is going to be a special shout out to the veterans. And I just put up a post on the Mark Hope Show podcast page for everybody to put a tribute up for their veteran or for themselves or a picture of you in your service. I just posted a photo of my dad's headstone over at Fort Logan. And we just like to say thank you to all those veterans out there that, have given us so much. And it's a debt that we will never, ever be able to repay. And I know personally that I just can't thank you enough, all you ladies and guys out there that have just really, are the backbone of America. And thank you so much on this Veterans Day. And please don't hesitate to go to the Mark Hope Show podcast page and go ahead and put your tribute for, whoever it is that you're proud of. And we'd love to recognize them as well. And we are going to do a call-in show.
That's right.
Daniel, in a minute here, is going to put up the number.
Yes, it's in the title here. And I'll just say it. It is... There you go. Phone number is right there. This is a bit of an experiment. We're going to try this out and see how it goes. 720-507-1939 is the number. And give us a call, and we'll try and get you on the air, and hopefully that will work. And we'll love to hear your stories about what you're celebrating today.
And really what the show is about is small businesses and people that are, doing their businesses and need help. And we're answering all kinds of questions from accounting to forming a small business to marketing, advertising, customer service, reputation management. There's about 50 different things that we do at Marketing Hope that help small businesses sharpen their tools. So any questions that you guys might have about that or anything else that you'd like to call about, we are here and we could take your questions live on the air. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was an experience that I had this weekend with some subpar service that my daughter got a flat tire. And she called the State Farm roadside assistance, and this idiot kid shows up wearing pajamas.
What?
He can't figure out how to get the tire down, so he takes the tire off, tells Katie that he can't figure out, how to get it fixed or whatever, that she should go over to O'Reilly's. And you want to read that, Daniel?
Yeah. So Galen Alton's chimed in and with a very good message here. Don Alton, her husband, and a good friend of ours, was in the Air Force, and he served from 1951 to 55, and he just passed away last month, on October 7th. What a great guy.
Yep.
And we miss him, and he was a very distinguished individual.
He was just the type of guy that would serve, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it takes a special type of person to be in service of the country and to really write that ultimate check to the United States. And Don was definitely that type of a guy. What a great man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely going to be missed.
For sure. Okay, guys, somebody want to be brave and give us a call?
So this Yahoo shows up and tells her to go over to O'Reilly's and buy a pump to pump up her tire and go over to the
Come on.
to the tire place. So she calls me up, and I went over to the auto place, and I got a Fix-A-Flat and brought over one of those plug-in pump deals and filled it up and pumped it up and took it over to Discount Tire was our first choice, but they were closed.
Yeah.
So then we went to Tires Plus, and we'll put all this in the notes because my negative review for Tires Plus and my positive review for Discount Tire is going to definitely be there as well. But let me tell you, this guy at Tires Plus, what a jerk.
Really?
Yeah, I walked in. What's going on? Oh, I just need a tire repaired. Well, it's not going to be till 5 o'clock, the guy says. And it was something like out of Banjo's playing from, Deliverance.
Wow.
And I said, oh, okay. Oh, it's going to be $21, and here's this and that, and we'll call you. I'm like, okay, thanks. Tried to be real nice to the guy. And 2 little girls, I guess from the mechanics, were playing house inside of the lobby there. And so, we...
Someone else there saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Tires Plus treated me like an idiot. Well,
there you go.
Yep.
Well, listen to this.
Okay.
So we get back home, and the guy calls me. The kid calls me from there, and he says, oh, what tire did you think was flat? What was it, the tire that you thought was flat? And I said, well, it was the right front tire, and it was flat, and I put Fix-A-Flat in it and pumped it up, so that's the one it is. He goes, okay, well, we're going to take it off and call you back. He calls me back in 15 minutes, and he says, oh, we can't fix this tire. You put Fix-A-Flat in it, and that ruins the tire because it'll eat it from the inside out, and it's not going to be safe anymore for a tire. So you're going to have to buy our tire, and it's $250.
For one tire.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I said, no, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down. I'm going to pick up the car, which I did. I parked it in front of Discount Tire. This morning, my wife went, gave him the key, told him what was going on. They called us an hour later. Your tire's ready to go. Everything's all fixed. No charge.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a little messy when you put that Fix-A-Flat in there, but you clean it out, then you find the leak, and you patch it up, and there you go. But,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
there's a reason why there's 25 cars in front of Discount Tire this morning,
Yeah.
and those Tires Plus guys, what a goat rope.
Bradley jumps in and says, Les Schwab always repairs tires for free also.
Yeah, and I would have went there too otherwise, but well, I guess we just picked the wrong place.
I guess.
What
so.
crappy service that was. And then, when I went in to get the key, the guy didn't apologize. He didn't say anything. He didn't want to talk to me at all. He just let me leave.
Wow.
But I always think, what if that was my mother?
Right?
Some sweet little old ladies in there, and it's like, hey, let me just bend you
Take
over
advantage, yeah.
for $250 for a tire. Take off a perfectly good tire because it's got a little foam in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just bad stuff.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
And the State Farm thing, I don't know who they're fooling. I mean, why pay for the roadside service? I mean, thankfully Katie was at home and I went and helped her. But what a mess.
We've done AAA for the longest time, and they've always been really, really responsive, and they're not trying to get you. I mean, I've had a really good experience with AAA. I know it's extra over what you get with your insurance, but obviously what you get with the insurance isn't so good.
That's the cautionary tale.
That must be.
But open mic night. Anybody that wants to call in, anybody's got a question, they should have the number up there, right?
We do have the number right there, but I'll say it again anyway. It's on the description and also on the screen here. It's 720-507-1939. Give us a call, and we'll get you on. And tell us your stories about someone in your family or even yourself and your experiences being a veteran or with someone in your family that was, or what they did, how they served, let's celebrate them. That's what we're all about today.
Or talk to us about your business and what you're doing, especially veteran-owned businesses. Especially, I was talking to one of the clients at the marketing company, and they do an adaptive home business.
Okay.
And we'll have to put them in the show notes. But
For sure.
they met up with Matt Feeney at some adaptive chili cook-off or whatever.
You guys, if you have not seen the episode from last week with Matt Feeney and his story, it was amazing. It was really fun.
Good guy.
Yeah. What he does is amazing. His story is just unreal. Anyway, go on.
Go on. You look at me like I've got material.
You were saying you were talking to these people.
No, that's all she said. She's going to just get together and help some of these people with accessibility options on their homes. If anybody needs anything like that, we definitely have your hookup. But one of the other things I was talking about that I said, hey, we should talk about this on the show is what in the hell is going on with what things cost? Right?
Okay, I'll buy it. Go for it.
Todd Claiborne just checked in. Are you checking these people out?
I am. Okay, we got somebody calling. It's Jeff. We're gonna give it a try so we can get him on.
Call from
Jeff Myers.
Oh yeah.
To accept, press 1.
Sounds good. All right, Jeff.
Your first caller.
Hey, all right, we do have him
It's
on.
Jeff
the phone.
from Action Computers.
Yes, I saw the number on the screen. I'm driving home, but I figured I'd give you guys a call and say hello.
You were coming from an on-site.
Yeah, just left the customer's house. Very happy. We got their computer ran, and you were talking about extra service, Mark. I mean, that was a lot of what I just got done doing. We not only did I just throw his computer on his desk and just let him have it. I mean, just go. I mean, I ran the cables. I was on the floor. I drilled a search strip in. I mean, gave him as much as I could, and it looked nice when we left.
Well, that's
Really
good.
looking.
So if somebody buys a computer from Action Computers and they don't know how to set it up, you'll go do that for them.
Absolutely. We'll take care of it. We'll do everything. And you guys have the veterans theme today, and I think that's important to mention about Action, too. We love vets. We have always taken care of vets. We love taking care of police, fire. If you're in the service, I mean, we will definitely take care of you. We have extra discounts for that.
And that's not just on Veterans Day either. If you come in and say you're a vet, you're going to get something special at Action Computers all the time, right?
Every day. Yeah, we take care of Denver police. We take care of, fire. I mean, if you're anywhere in the state, you work for any of those services, we are here for you, and we want to make sure to take extra good care of you because it's important.
Yeah.
Got a lot of police family myself, and I mean, I know it's important,
Well, that's good.
But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a jingle and start the show off right. See how everything's going. So.
Jeff, we're talking about Veterans Day today, and I know someone in your family was in the service. Do you have anything you want to share?
We have a lot of family that was, and I think the coolest story for me is my grandfather on my mom's side. He was a pilot way back, 50s, and he crashed his plane, broke his back, and I'm sure a variety of other things. And he was laid up in the hospital for a really long time. And
hey, Jeff, let me interrupt you just real sec here. Jason Pierce, I saw you logged on. I'd like you to call in as soon as this call hangs up. I want you to call in the number. Jason is the owner of American Stump Grinders, And he's a veteran-owned business, and I'd really like, Jason, I'd like for you to call in. So go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, there's a great service, grinding those stumps down.
He's such a good guy. Yeah.
Gosh, that's cool. But anyway, he when he was laid up in the hospital for 6 months, he was, you had to call into the operator to make a phone call. And he got a hold of my grandma. She was one of the operators, and they would just talk on the phone. He would ask to talk to her and have her route the calls, and eventually they got married and had a bunch of kids. And I mean, it's just a really cool story.
He hooked up with the phone
really
lady.
Cool love story. He did. I mean, just a really cool story. So, I mean,
That is cool.
hey, you know what? Both great people. Rest in peace. But it's a very cool story. So yeah, lots of vets in our family too. So
That is awesome. That's great.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for your family's contribution and everything that you do for us all down there at Action Computers all the time. And we really appreciate you, buddy.
for sure, great listening to you guys.
Hey, I was working with a customer, just real quick, Jeff. What are all those DVDs that are in the warehouse? Those DVD players.
DVD players in the warehouse.
Yeah, there's
trying to think of what
there's a big stack of a whole section of the warehouse that has those Dell external DVD burners.
Oh, yeah. I know about those.
Are those USB?
They are
I'm
not.
not sure.
I
Might
don't
be
think.
eSATA.
Though I
eSATA.
think we have. You'll have to check it. I know we have a bunch of the USB ones that we had a good deal on for a while.
Okay. Well, let's check into that next time that we can. I have a customer that wants a bunch of those that was in today.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, definitely will. No problem. Hey, great talking to you guys. Great show tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
Hey,
you got
thanks,
it.
Jeff. Take care.
Hey, there's Pat Sirio. He should call in. I'd like to talk to him from Texas.
And Mike Mitchison has chimed in over here and said that those are Dell specific ones. But I'm sure we can find what you're looking for.
I just seen so many of those.
Oh yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of those. We have a lot of all kinds of stuff in there.
That's so much stuff.
Yep. Lots
It's crazy.
All right, so lines are open now, and
That's another thing. I was talking about what things cost. I was listening to another radio show
yeah. And
about some guy that talks about finances.
did you see James and Leanne Ward's comment here?
No.
They've noticed how everything is costing more and more. Products getting smaller, and the prices are going up, and even the Chinese food and the egg rolls are half the size and twice the cost.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. No industry is immune.
Well, I tell you what gets me is like when you buy Comcast,
Don't.
they say,
Don't get me
oh,
started
here's
there.
your deal and here's the price or whatever. And it can't be the rate. It's got to be the discounted rate.
Right.
Well, that lasts for a year. The only problem is
Yeah. Then it goes up, and they don't
you
tell
sign up for a 2-year contract.
Yep.
So guess what you're doing for the second year of your contract?
You're paying full price.
You're bending over.
Yeah.
And they're just giving it to you. It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
And-
Why can't it just be the price is the price?
I can only imagine how much of their business model is people who forget to go
Even
beg
if you
for a
don't
price
forget,
difference,
that's-
or you get
that's the
stuck for a
deal.
year, or
You've
whatever
got
the
2
deal is.
years. That's
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
So you have to wait 2 years paying the higher price and then switch to Dish afterwards.
Right.
After you've been through the ringer. And then the new people that sign up, they get a really good price.
Yeah. That's everywhere. Everywhere. You can't get the regular price. I mean, all those deals are for new customers only.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no loyalty. There is no reward for loyalty. And Josh Martin over at the Insurance Advisors is probably going to prove me wrong. But every insurance agent that I've ever had up till him has been slowly increasing the prices over time, and then you switch, and now you're the new person and you get the low rate.
It is the the frog in the pot story, which
Yeah.
you should tell everyone.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't just throw a frog in boiling water or else it'll jump out. But if you put it in a cold pan and gradually turn up the heat, it'll cook itself.
Yeah. And why? Because it doesn't, if it once it realizes that it's too hot and it has to get out, it's too late. It's already beyond the point of being able to have the strength to get out of that pot. Now, I know this is a metaphor. I don't know if anyone's ever tried throwing a frog in a pot and boiling it and see if that works. But it's a good metaphor.
Right. Well, and metaphorically,
frogs.
that's how it works, because you just forget. But I don't know what other
For sure.
things where like the new person gets the deal and the old person doesn't get a deal.
Right. So loyal customers, no reward for you. It should be the sort of thing you have. It gets cheaper over time. Hey, you've been with us for 10 years. Here's a discount. Or here's a thing. There's a thing. Bradley says it might make a good podcast to try it live. Call Comcast and try it live. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah.
That would be, well, I mean, I don't think we have enough time to sit on hold. That's the problem.
Nikki Parker said that insurance agents don't control the rate. And she is an insurance person, I believe.
No frogs. Oh, do the frogs live on the podcast. That's cruel. I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
That's a totally different kind of show than what we do. But you know what the other thing is, if you're in a rental apartment,
Yeah.
they just gouge you. But the new people that come in, they get the better rate, and they also get,
Sure.
2 months free.
Yeah.
Spiffs, if you're moving in, if you're the new person. If you're there and you've been loyally paying your rent, they don't give you a deal. But if you're a new person and you move out, then you get the deal.
Right.
My daughter has to deal with that all the time with her
yeah.
apartment down
Yeah.
in the Highlands, which is ridiculous. And we should do a whole show on that too. Her rent is $1,950 a month
Wow.
for a 1-bedroom apartment
Wow. That's a lot.
in the Highlands. 10 years ago, you wouldn't walk down there at night
Yeah.
because it was a gang-infested, whatever. Now, it's hip.
There's Scott Jean-Claude has joined. Welcome, Scott. Scott, for everyone who's joining now who missed the earlier part, we are doing live call-ins tonight. So the phone number on the screen there, 720-507-1939. Just give us a call, and we're listening. We want to hear from anybody who has a small business or somebody who's been in the service. Being Veterans Day, we want to have a special shout out for any of those people, or anything else you want to talk about. Just give us a call. Sorry to interrupt. Here we go. But so many people are joining now. I want to make sure everybody gets the message that
No, you're finally
we
doing
are
a good
here.
job as a producer.
I'm finally doing a good job. All right.
Normally, Daniel just kind of hangs out. and
I'm
he's-
a cardboard cutout.
I
most
look
of the
over
time.
and there's a solitaire game going on one of the many screens that
Oh
he
my
has
gosh.
around him, and
That was true. One of the times I'm going to take the camera and point it back towards the screen so they can see what I'm working with. It's impressive.
yeah, I can do that right now.
No, don't
No, I
change it.
can't.
No, because it's gonna
Yeah,
it'll
don't
break
touch
it.
things.
Don't do things.
So,
Oh, I missed it over here. John Williams is on my feed somehow, and he says his insurance stew is getting pretty warm. He wants Josh Martin's info because he needs to help himself out. He's burning up in the insurance pot.
yeah, I tell you what, we will do the insurance advisor's link, right, Daniel?
Yes,
And I will make sure and get that out to John. John is the owner of Westminster Arms, and he is a purveyor of fine firearms and classes and everything that has to do with your Second Amendment activities. And he's a super good guy. He's a really, really nice guy. And Jamal just joined in. He is a poker player, and he owns a a big liquor store, actually.
Really?
So if you lose all your money playing poker, you can go over and get some liquor and just kind of feel better about it. Or celebrate your big poker win. But we should have Jamal on the show sometime because he is a small business guy. What is Eric Porter saying over there?
Oh, Eric says, what I do is on many things is create a relationship with whom I am doing business, and in the long run, I get taken care of. I think of my tree guy, Groove, insurance person. If I'm kind to them and show respect, when I need something, I'm able to get help. That's good advice.
You know, and I know Eric, and he doesn't talk that way. So I guarantee you that was a voice to text.
I think it is, yeah.
Message.
Yeah, or there's some auto-correcting happening there.
Or maybe he was over at Jamal's liquor store
That could be.
before he wrote that comment.
That could be.
But Eric is one of those business broker guys. He helps people with their businesses.
Right on. Okay. And yeah, I've got Josh's information here, John, right in the comments here. Theinsuranceadvisors.net. That's Josh Martin, and they do take great care of their people.
Home, auto. They do some commercial stuff.
Yeah. They do all kinds of stuff. And Josh is a grilling master. If you follow his stuff, he grills and smokes, and his pictures look good.
Yeah.
All weekend he was posting, and I was there.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely a summer guy too. He has a river in his backyard, just like Mimi does.
Sure. And Mike Mitchison says we could use an entire hour with Josh Martin on insurance. I bet we could. He says, I never read the small print. I don't blame you.
Well, it really is kind of nice to, get involved with somebody that you can trust.
Right. Well, and that's the sort of thing we talk about on the show all the time is, running your business, your small business in a way that you're going to get your customers to be fanatical about your business. They're not going to go anywhere else. That's how you do it. If you just don't take care of people and ignore them and say, "Oh, we'll just buy new tires, whatever," well, you're not going to get that customer back more than likely.
And that's the thing. Because, that Tires Plus lost a bunch of business because, they didn't care about the customer, especially that day. Maybe the kid didn't want to get foamy or whatever, and you just don't care about your customers, and it's like teeth. If you don't take care of them, they'll go away.
Yeah, problem will solve itself.
And being in the marketing business, I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to keep customers than it is to pay to try to get new ones.
Right.
So when you get the customers, retaining the customers is really one of the things that you really need to work on. And that's why we do a lot of our services that we provide at Marketing Hope with the reputation management and the secret shoppers and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure that we're doing everything that we can for our clients to retain all their customers.
We're getting a call here from John, and so I'm going to get him on the phone here.
Call from
John Williams.
John Williams.
Hey, how are you guys? You staying warm over there?
Hey, John.
We're in this studio full of monitors and televisions and lights and stuff, so actually it's pretty toasty over here.
It is pretty warm.
Yeah.
How you doing, John?
That frog in the pot. It's getting warm over there, huh?
We are the frogs in the proverbial pot, and we're getting boiled as we speak.
Yeah, I see that you need to maybe throw some carrots and some potatoes in there with it because looks like the little slim pickings tonight. Everybody must be tucked in for the evening.
Yeah. So what are you calling about? Oh, Jamal said he just got called in.
He got
guys.
called in. I'm not sure. Did you try and call us, or it didn't come up here? Maybe it was because we got John on.
Or maybe he got called into the store.
Maybe, yeah.
But John, you're really high on customer service over at your place. I think that's one of the things that you're known for over there at Westminster Arms, right?
Well, the whole purpose and focus really is to help people. A lot of times people don't know what it is that they're looking for, and our job really is to help them find out what they're looking for and to show them why, and then to make them comfortable with their purchase.
And when they're dealing with firearms, sometimes they really need a lot of help.
Yeah, people can
'Cause
have
it's a
some
safety
anxiety. Sometimes it's well-founded,
Yeah.
around firearms. It's like any tool. You don't go out with a chainsaw and cut down, the sequoia your very first time out. You have to learn what you're doing, just like any other tool. And our job is to help you, lower your anxiety so you can pay attention to what's really going on, and then find out where your zen is and with whatever it is that you're using.
Well, that's awesome. I know that you guys have a huge reputation over there of getting people fixed up and getting new time people started, and a lot of the old hands over there appreciate the selection that you have. Not that I would know anything about it because my wife is listening to this radio program, but you have some pretty high end kind of fun little toys over there as well, right?
Well, we don't really think that they're toys per se, but yeah, we do try to keep a good selection. One of the things that is the challenge in a shop my size is I'm not big like the big insert number after 4. I won't use their name because I don't want to, create any controversy or
Sure.
but that kind of thing. But there's kind of a fine line between being well stocked and being cluttered, and we just try to walk that fine line. We have an idea after doing this for over 13 years, kind of what people are looking for and why. And like I say, we help them to understand what it is that they need to do for whatever their intent is once they walk out of the store with whatever it is they end up with. They come in with a need, we help them discover what that is in the form of whatever tool or device or whatever it is. And in the process, we don't bend them over the counter, and we try to make sure that we earn their business. We respect that people have to make their money, and that they choose to spend it with us. We want the experience to be nothing short of amazing. And if it is, then that's certainly a learning opportunity for me as the owner, and then to let that trickle down to the other people that work there. Sometimes it trickles down, and sometimes I give them a drink with the fire hose, if you know what I mean.
No, I do know that, and one of the things, since I am very familiar with your business, and Amy just chimed in on the Mark Hope Show podcast page saying that her husband and her stepson are in the military, and she's given them a shout out.
That is amazing.
For some reason, it says it won't let her add pictures. But thank you, Amy. That is awesome. Thank you for chiming in there. But John, I know I've been at your store and you've been at my store, and one of the things that I absolutely, in any business that I own, the customer is always king. And these stores drive me crazy when you walk in and there's absolutely not enough salespeople to handle the customers that are coming in the store. And when a customer has to go look for a sales representative, I think you're failing in the first order. And that's how I run my businesses. And I know that you guys do the same thing over there. Every time I've been in your store, there's always been an ample amount of people waiting to help customers, and a lot of education and things going on all the time, right?
Right. And to back up just a second there, I want to say to Amy, just to make sure to thank her relatives so much for their contribution towards my freedom. We take that very seriously. I never had the opportunity to serve personally, but I do consider myself a huge supporter of anybody who stands in harm's way for the sake of our amazing country. When you wake up in the morning and when you wake up in America, you got a good chance today. So thanks, Amy, for that.
Absolutely.
And then beyond,
and I totally concur.
beyond that, my philosophy is that I don't want you to get off of my doormat without acknowledging that you're there. If I'm with somebody, at least let you know I see you and that we'll help you in just a minute. I wouldn't be open if it wasn't for my clients. It is very frustrating. What actually started all that that whole business that I'm in really was the way that I was treated in a pretty well-known and now out of business store here in the Denver area. I can't imagine how he went out of business, chortle. But the long and short of it was, as I said right then and there, having no idea I'd be in this business this many years later, over almost a decade and a half later, that I would never treat my customers that way if I was ever in that position. And lo and behold, here we are. So thank you to all my customers. You're what make this happen.
And John,
it's
Daniel has put the link to your store in the comments of the podcast, and it will go in the show links when the podcast goes out on iTunes and the YouTube channel and that kind of thing. So if anybody needs some help with their firearms and you want somebody that you can trust,
or training,
please reach out to people over at Westminster Arms over there on the link that's provided.
That's a good point. You do a lot of firearms training there too, don't you, John?
Yes, I've been in the training environment for over 10 years personally, and the guy that I have been my chief training officer now has been in a instruction environment his probably 10 years out of his young life. So we take it very seriously, and we're just delighted that we get the chance to do what we do. When you wake up in the morning and you get to go do what you love, it's really not much like work.
True that. All right.
Talk about a master of radio. Joe Chiaro joined in.
Joe Chiaro, all right.
I mean, that guy's a stud. He runs all the stuff over at Fox in New York. We had him here in Denver, and they stole him away. He's in New York.
Oh, good for him.
Next time I'm out east, I want to see if he can get me in the station over there and look at things.
Oh, that would be cool.
What a great guy.
That would be cool.
He's hilarious, dude. Sorry about that, John.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I'm pretty sure that you guys know each other because when I listen to your cast and when I listen to some of your infomercials and what have you, like when I'm on the very short hold when I call Action Computers, I really get a kick out of it, and you get it. And I started to say that one of the things that I found as a small business owner that is just critical is that you surround yourself with like-minded people who are positive, upbeat, and understand the big picture as well as the bottom line. So
absolutely,
it's been my pleasure to get a chance to rub elbows with Mark and some of the people that we have run into through the years.
But it really is about your people.
Shout out.
Go ahead.
Oh,
do it.
Yeah. I just wanted a quick shout out to all the veterans, all you folks out there, not just Amy's, but everybody who has served in any capacity towards our safety and our well-being and our freedoms here in this country. Just thank you so much. It sounds trite. We've been saying it all day, reading it on Instagram and Facebook, but it really is that important to us, or I wouldn't make the effort to say so. Just thank you so much for that, and thanks for letting us be a part of this amazing community. We've really been blessed beyond belief. So
Absolutely, John. And I know that you're a big supporter of the vets, as I am. And I think one of the things that you said about not being able to serve yourself, I was in a similar situation, and I think as I get older, I really wish that I would have.
I feel the same
absolutely.
way. I feel the same
But
way.
it's past the time, and I wasn't intelligent enough in my youth to really realize what that would have done for me. And, I think it really would have helped me as a young man. I would have been more disciplined, and it would have given me some more tools in my toolbox to have a better life. And, you just can't go back in time and lament over the decisions that you didn't make. But that will go down as one of the mistakes in my life that I made as well, John. And I wish if I had a chance to go back and do it over again, I would make a different choice. And I think that's what makes
in so many ways, and that certainly is one of them, Mark.
And the thing that I have to do right now is just to support all of those people that are in those roles and doing those hard jobs. You know, that's really kind of my way that I can contribute now that it's further down the road. So, you know, I definitely feel your sentiment as far as that goes as well. So,
Well, through the years, thank you for that. And through the years, I've always made it a point to have veterans be a huge part of my organization. My shout out to Nathan Perk, my store manager. He's a Navy veteran, and also to Saul Musquiz, who is an Army vet. You know, we really hold those guys in high regard and try to make a place for them, not just a job, but someplace where they can actually make a living. And that really is a big deal. It's a huge responsibility that I take very seriously about being able to contribute to the community, as well as to have my employees make enough money to make it, because you know, it takes a lot to make that happen,
especially
and
in
they
Denver.
work real hard and show,
Especially in Denver.
and show their appreciation. Well,
that's
it's
awesome.
the only place I've ever done this. Yeah, so I'm gonna bow out of the call. I really appreciate you taking my call and giving me a chance to just throw some kudos out to you guys for what it is that you do. Thank you for letting me be a part of it tonight, and then I value your friendship and look forward to seeing you in the near future.
All right, man.
we
Listen,
appreciate
thanks
you,
for
John.
calling in, and continued good fortune over there with your business.
All right. Take care.
You as well. You guys, okay, bye now.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Okay. All right. Before we jump in, I forgot to publish this earlier, but we have our quiz for Veterans Day is what is specifically special about this year's Veterans Day, and
Now,
there you
I
go.
happen to know the answer.
You
to
do
this.
well because you were here when we started this, but
Okay.
that's out there. You feel free to vote and see if you can't get it right. It's just a fun little thing. Joe Chiero actually jumped back in and said thanks for the mention, and you are welcome to come visit the Fox Studios any day.
I'm doing that.
I want to go. That sounds
I'm
great.
going to New York
Yeah.
and doing that.
Yeah.
And then I'll see all my people in Jersey, all my Jersey people.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You can go there with me too.
All right. Yeah, I've never been over
You're
there.
a drinker.
Not that much.
Yeah.
I've
I'm not a drinker
I've
at
never
all.
never been to the East Coast. I mean the Northeast, and I've got friends who live up there, and I would need to go see them, and I'm not a very good friend when it comes to that, so I do need to make a trip up there.
Well, I got a bunch of Jersey people. They would definitely show you a good time.
I want that.
And they would take you to some places where there's some really good food too.
No, that works. All right, so everybody else, the phone lines are open now. 720-507-1939. We are giving a shout out to all the veterans that are risking their lives for us every day and making what we do here possible, and we really appreciate all of them. And also, we want to hear about your small business and see what you have going on and see how you've turned, a passion for something into a way of life. And so, give us a call, and we want to hear your story. Again, 720-507-1939, and it's on the screen. You should be able to click it, and there you go. Give us a call.
Don't be afraid to go over to the Mark Hope Show podcast page on Facebook and give some recognition to your veteran or your veteran experience. We'd love to hear about you and recognize you or them, and on this great Veterans Day that is special for some reason that Daniel is not going to allow us to know until the end of the show, apparently.
Well, you want to
But
give
we
it
kind
away
of talked
now?
about some stories about, some good business experiences and maybe some experiences that are not so good.
Sure.
And one of the things that I always throw out there is it seems like we learn more even from the poor experiences that we have, either bad managers or bad customer service experiences. You heard John Williams say that he actually started his business because he had a bad experience with, a place where he was shopping and said, he wouldn't run his business that way. And I think that's really true. You know, whenever we've had a crappy manager or bad boss, and say, I'm not going to do it that way. Later, when I get a chance to be the parent or the boss or the coworker or the owner of the business, I'm going to do it differently. So, I think having great bosses and mentors is a wonderful thing. But experiencing some of those bad things in your life too is a really good way to cement that in your mind of, I'm not going to do that to people. I'm not going to lie to them, or I'm not going to try and, I'm not going to get caught deceiving anyone. At least if I'm a boss, maybe I'm not going to be the most popular boss, but at least my employees are going to know that I care about them and that I was firm, but I was fair. And like John said, that they were successful in their careers and they were successful in making their money and supporting their families and all that kind of stuff that is so important. You learn from the bad ones.
Yeah.
Just as much as you do from the good ones.
If not more.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes those bad experiences, and especially, I was talking to a small business owner today, and the subject of, perfection and execution came up, and for people that don't know what the rule of thumb around here in our management classes and the way we operate our businesses is, it's execution before perfection, because nobody's perfect. We're always working on our craft and we're always getting better as we go along. And don't be afraid to make a mistake.
Right, for sure.
And sometimes when you're making those mistakes, that's where you learn the most. I mean, you do it great 100 times in a row for a customer, and then maybe you kind of forget. And then all of a sudden there's a poor customer service interaction. And then you say, well, how could we do this differently? Or what should we have done? And then you come up with a whole new plan to make sure that the customer is called back right away, or they don't slip through the cracks or whatever. So, embrace some of those mistakes, learn from those bad experiences, even if they're your fault.
Sure.
Hey, I'm sorry. How can I make this up to you? How can I make it up to you as a customer? What thing can I do to, just admit that, one of my people made a mistake and, we didn't do it how we normally like to do it over the last 27 years, really trying to do a good job for everybody. And sometimes we don't get there, but we correct it and we learn from it and we move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Always keep improving.
Some people like this client I was talking to today was so paralyzed that a mistake might get made, and I get it. If you're a brain surgeon, you got to be that way.
Practice it a lot first. Wow.
Don't let the red stuff out. Yeah. Got it. I mean, you can't make a mistake. But let's be honest. Most of us, the other 90% of us that aren't in those mission critical roles, you make a mistake. You burnt the pizza or whatever it was that you do in your business. I mean, even if it costs money to redo the mistake, you fix it and you move on. And that's where the craft gets developed.
Right.
Right. So you cannot be paralyzed by, afraid that you're going to make a mistake.
Well, and we talk about that here. We've talked about it several times on this show. You start off with a passion for something, and then you slowly work it into your hustle, and then you work it into your beginner business and work it all the way up into a larger business. You're gonna break a lot of eggs while you're making that omelet. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes and you're going to learn and improve and keep getting better and stronger.
But you're also going to eat a lot of really good omelets along the way. And that was actually my analogy with this particular person that I was talking to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, not exactly, but I used a food analogy because what I said was if you're looking to become the cookie maker, mm-hmm. You don't just wait in your little cookie lab for 25 years until you release the perfect cookie. You make a cookie and people eat it, and then they say, well, what if there's M&Ms in here? Or what if there's pralines in here? Or what if it was softer or harder or whatever? And you make a bunch of cookies, and you keep the good ones going, and the bad ones are kind of getting left off to the side, and so the butternut squash and broccoli cookie just doesn't get released. but then you become the cookie master because of your experience and your
Right.
passion in doing that. And really, that's what we try to teach people when we're trying to market their businesses and we're giving them, advice and consulting on how to run things.
And guys, I just want to take a break here and say hi to the 7 people that just showed up and they're joined into the show here. Nice to see you all here, guys. And we're doing open lines tonight. So if you want to give us a call and tell us your experiences about your business or any business you're trying to start or anything else you want to talk about, give us a call. Number there is 720-507-1939. That's really for the benefit of everybody just joined in. We love having you here.
So it's not just for me to be talking all this time.
No, it's not. Though that's what the show. Your name is on the header.
Yeah.
It's not the me show. It's the Markov show.
Say stuff.
You gotta say stuff. That's right.
But become the cookie authority. I
Right.
mean, that's really the idea, and you cannot become the authority unless you've ridden all the rides.
Yeah. You have to mess up. You have to improve, and you have to try things, and a lot of them don't work.
Yeah, I
But
was
then you
listening
learn.
to a radio guy when I was, he was giving out financial advice. And, he said the same thing. You've got to make mistakes, and you've got to admit your mistakes, especially to the people that you're mentoring and the people that you're teaching. Nobody wants to learn anything from somebody who's never willing to admit that they made mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
I encourage people to find out, mistakes in the things that we're doing at our work and in all the different businesses on a regular basis because, what's the motto for the radio show, Daniel?
We help people.
What else? What do you and I say? Every time we make a change in this studio?
every time we make a change, we say we just get a little better every day. A little better.
Just a little bit
Little
better
better.
every day.
We used to not be on Facebook when we did this. so
Which
this is
means, which means, all the shows before that were crappier,
right. Yeah.
and that's okay.
Totally fine. I want to jump here real quick. John Williams has been listening to what we're saying. He said way more edit that out. Way more opportunities happen when things don't go as planned, and that's where you make your lifelong clients. Is when you make a mistake, you make it right. That's true. That's true in my experience too. There have been plenty of opportunities where something didn't go right, and we had to give something away or repair something or do something to win the customer back. And those customers they're fans forever now, because you take a situation.
Because it matters.
Yeah.
It matters not that you'd never make a mistake, but how do you react when you've made a mistake?
And PJ says, hi, Pat. Serio says, hi, Mark and Daniel. They're coming in on both sides here. I've got our comments here, and then other comments are coming over here too.
Oh, and
Yes,
you're
on my watch party as well.
you've got a watch party.
And guys, for
you're
people,
obviously very popular.
I don't know if anybody knows that. Like, if you're watching this show and you want to share it with your friends who maybe aren't already fans of the show, you can just hit that little share button at the bottom of your phone, and you start kind of your own little live stream, kind of piggybacking off what we're doing here, and then your friends can comment, and you can have a conversation with them at the same time. You're pointing at what?
That Hangouts window just popped open.
Yeah, it does that.
I thought somebody was calling in.
No, you gotta. For some reason, people.
But yeah,
try.
that's you definitely can start a watch party with the show. And one of the things that we really like to do here is talk about our issues of the things that we're having. When you're talking about your financial issues or what you're doing to pay off your debt or how you're trying to save up money to start your business. A lot of times it's just good to talk to people that are doing the same thing as you.
Sure.
Did you go out and get a big loan to start your business? And did that have an adverse effect on everything that you were doing? Right. I would say yes. And I would say don't do that. Try to scrape together as much cash as you can to limp your business along without getting a big loan, because the debt service is what kills a lot of small businesses that are merging little turtles that are coming out of the sand and they're not big yet. But a lot of people, they just don't know enough people that are actually business owners to just talk about things.
Yeah.
And I think that's the value in when you're sharing the show and say, oh, you remember what they said on the Mark Hope show last night? They were talking about, some cake decorator started a business out of her kitchen of her house, and people listen to that and they think, well, I just really want to do that too because I'm really good at trimming trees, or I'm really good at lawn care, or, I'm a really good landscaper in the summertime. I want to just kind of do my side gig. I'm working for a big company and I want to work on the weekends and do my thing that I like to do for my customers. And I want to figure out how to buy a plow for the front of a truck and move snow in the winter to augment that business. And then you just get into this, discussions with people that have been in there, have done it themselves, or are thinking about the same things that you're doing. Well, what are you doing? I'm like in the computer business. Half of the time, it's about finding software solutions to different problems. And, I've been doing this business for 30 years. And I sit in front of a computer with somebody and they show me something. And it's like, hey, how did you do that? Even after all this time. How are you doing that? And it's different than the way I do it. And it's much easier than the way I do it. But I just don't do it because I'm in this vacuum. And I don't get to see it. But when you see somebody else do it, it's like, what have I been thinking about? Why have I been doing it the old way?
Right.
I was talking to somebody the other day who said that they do all their bills, they write checks for all their bills.
Wow.
And I thought it was insane until this person told me, oh, yeah, that's how I do it. I don't want to be on the computer doing my bill pay, which I just thought it was phenomenal. Is there anybody out there in the audience who's in the chat or listening to the show right now that care to comment that does their bills by sitting down, writing a check out, and looking the envelope, putting a stamp on it, and sending the bill out? Because I thought all those people were long gone.
We've got PJ says, don't be afraid to grow slowly while you pay as you go. The upside is huge. Be patient. You'll get there. That is wise advice right there.
That is
Take
wise
it slow.
advice.
Don't try and be everything to everybody right away. Just be good at the thing you're good at and work your way up. Absolutely.
Yeah, that is very wise. And that guy owns a really, really successful homegrown business that's got my respect because they do things correctly over at Texas Canine University over in Texas, and they build police dogs and rescue dogs and they train people and board pets over there. But they started off small, and one of the things that I think a lot of people don't really recognize when you're going slow is it takes a lot of pressure off.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go too fast and you've got to do all of this stuff.
Yeah, if you have everything right.
Check in with him. Check in with her. Samoa?
Oh.
Sama?
Love you guys. Got to go. Thanks again. Hey, thanks for being a listener. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we love you back.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Thanks for checking in.
Gayleen writes in and says, I write a check on lots of things and keep track of things more easily. We write checks in the Eastern Star. So there you go.
There's
Not
still
everybody.
check writers out there.
Absolutely.
I can't handle it.
No?
I cannot handle it.
Well, so there's the writing of the checks, but there's also the opportunities where the bank will do will write checks for you.
I do that all the time.
You do
I
that
write something in my bill pay. If it doesn't go electronically, they print out the check.
Sure. Okay.
And so I don't have to have a big pile of stamps. I don't have to, I just gave that up years ago.
Really?
And I thought I was a late adopter.
Huh. Yeah, see, I don't know. I there's a few things that you have to do. Well, I guess you don't have to do a check for anything. You can always have the bank do it or whatever, but
I write a check for stuff around the house.
yeah. Make sure you put your plan on paper. This is from Bradley. Make sure you put your plan on paper, write your goals on paper, because until they're written down, they are simply ideas. That's good too. And one of our guests a few weeks ago said the same thing, Jonathan Douglas. Write it down, make a plan, And once you've committed it to paper, it's a little more powerful in your mind. That's a good observation. You guys, don't forget to vote in our little poll for today. What is special about this year's Veterans Day? And the options are: it falls on the 11th day of the 11th month, 11/11, pretty cool. It's the 100th anniversary, maybe, or it happens to coincide with Election Day. Think it's that one? What do you think?
I'm going to say 11/11.
11/11. Okay. Well, it is, yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that memorial that only shines the seal of that? It's like 5 columns, and the engineers designed it to where it only shines the full seal in the reflection of the holes in the columns at 11/11
I did not.
once a year.
Really? No.
Yeah, I
didn't know.
posted that.
Huh. Take a look at that.
I'll try to put it in the show page.
There was something else that happened today too. There was a new memorial was unveiled in France for their I have to look it up now, but they were doing something as well for the end of World War One. And again, that's what Veterans Day is all about. We all know it commemorates the signing of the treaty that ended World War One.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that link on the Mark Hope Show podcast page.
Which one? I will grab it.
What's that?
The link that you're putting on.
Oh, I'm just doing it.
Oh, you're doing it. Okay.
I'm doing it right now on the fly.
All right.
I'm computerized.
What? How'd you get a computer in here?
But it's only once a year at 11:11 a.m. the sun aligns perfectly to uncover this memorial's hidden beauty. Huh. Definitely go see that. Everyone except for Daniel, because you got work to do.
Yeah.
But
trying to keep this Betty running here. Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine just joined. Thanks for listening and watching. Oh, Cole Littlefair. That's someone I haven't seen in a long time. Good friend of mine. Nice to see you too. All right, guys, come on. Somebody has got to be brave enough to give us a call. We don't bite. The phone lines are open. The phone line is open. 720-507-1939. Give us a call. Tell us something interesting is happening today. Yeah. 11/11, Election Day. I don't think anyone's going to go for that last one, is it? No one's voted for that one. Because if you haven't put in your ballots and if you haven't returned your ballots yet, you're probably not going to.
It's a little late. It's a little late. Although I'm just really not interested in any of that stuff anyways.
Yeah.
I really don't care about the election.
Yeah, funny. My ballot was so short. There were the state ones, and then there was one or two other things we had to do. But, Denver, I guess, had a pretty big ballot. And mine was small, a couple things.
I don't know. That whole politics in general.
Yeah.
I've just got so many other things that I need to worry about that I can't get myself involved in that. As a matter of fact, I don't talk about any politics of any kind on any social media whatsoever. The only time that I would ever talk about politics is in a face-to-face conversation with somebody who is respectful and friendly, just so that I could learn where they're coming from.
Now, why is that? Why not let people just go crazy and talk on social media and just get it all out?
It's mean-spirited. People are not polite when they're behind their keyboard. They have anonymity, and they are very combative, and they're not respectful of the relationship. When you're right in front of somebody, it's very hard to be rude to them unless you're just that person, and then that person finds out that nobody wants to have anything to do with them, and they're used to not having an interaction with people at all.
Sure.
But on the internet, you're leaving these snide comments and negative comments, and I don't allow that either on my social media. I just don't allow any negativity around me, and that's a different story for a different show. But I just think it's better left to a face-to-face confrontation. And if you're a friend of mine and you want to talk about politics with me, I mean, I'm happy to talk about it. Like I said, if it's respectful and it's kind, I'm happy to talk to people about politics and anything else that's important stuff. But it's not, the walkie-talkie that is social media is not a good idea. The feelings get lost, and the
Sure.
it's
like when you
inferences are bad, and people assume things. And
yeah.
Bradley is pleading the fifth.
He
He was doing very good about not talking about politics until just recently.
All right, so here's some interesting stuff about Veterans Day. It's changed dates over the years.
Veterans Day has.
Yeah. In 1938, it became an actual national holiday on November 11th, every year, November 11th. But then in 1954, President Eisenhower changed it. In 54 he changed the name to Veterans Day, but in 68, the Uniform Holidays Bill was passed, which moved Veterans Day to the fourth Monday, and so it would change the fourth Monday in October. So we would Election Day or Easter or whatever, it all has a formula. It's not always the exact same date. So
which I think it should be.
You think it should be the same date every year?
It should be the same date every time.
Right.
You know what else? Why do we have daylight savings time?
No, well, hold on. So there's more to the story. So then in 71, they passed a new law undoing all that. 3 years later, they said, forget it. We want to have it be November 11th every year because of the significance of that date. That was the date that the treaty was signed and so on. But it had been passed around, had been moved around, had been talked about, and they changed it. The original, very first Veterans Day was November 11th of 1919, and that was the first anniversary of the signing of the treaty that ended World War I. It was originally called Armistice Day,
right,
which is what they call it in France still. That's in other places around the world, but then we changed it specifically for the veterans. And that happened in 54. That's when they changed the date. So there you go. And that was because instead of just celebrating just World War I, at that point they were celebrating veterans from all the wars that happened and more that would happen after that. So instead of just being Armistice Day for just that one war, they changed it for everybody, and to include all the, unfortunately all the veterans that had to fight and do all their stuff.
All the foreign wars.
All foreign wars.
Yeah, I was actually at an event the other day, and they were talking about how the VFW almost died during the Cold War era.
Really?
Well, there was never veterans of foreign wars.
Sure.
Those VFW lodges were all based upon that.
Right.
But anyways, why do we have daylight savings time?
That is a great
and
question. I wish I had the
how
answer to
can
that.
setting the clock back 1 hour make it go dark 4 hours sooner?
Right.
I swear, before we have daylight savings time.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Ava.
I
Welcome.
get home and it's 8:30 and it's light. I'm out in the backyard. Everything's fine. Daylight savings come. They move the clocks back 1 hour and it's like death. It's like darker than 2 foot down a cow's throat at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah. You know who does not observe daylight savings time?
Arizona.
Well, Arizona for sure, but and most of the other parts of the world. But my pets, my dogs, do not.
No.
Or my kids.
No.
They can't tell time. They're very small.
No, they can't.
They
just, unlike you, don't need a clock.
Right. They
know what time it is.
They know what time it is. And 4:00, they're like, "Hey, that's time to eat.
It's time for treats."
Like, no, it's not.
You feed your dog at 4:00?
No, we feed him at 5. But if you go back an hour, all of a sudden it's 4:00. They are very hungry all the time, and they at like 3:30 they start bugging me.
See, that's another phenomenon. Some dogs, you leave a bowl of food out for them, and they nibble it all day long.
Yeah.
I've never had that dog.
No.
My dog, you fill up the bowl, and they eat the food. That's what they do.
Yeah. One of my dogs actually, she eats the food so fast that we had to get her one of those little slow feeder bowls where it's a little puzzle for her to do, so she could get the little pieces of food. Otherwise, she would eat it so fast it would make her sick. I mean, she would eat a cup of food in 10 seconds.
That That would be you and I if we came back as dogs, right?
Right.
Because their whole brain is about food, and then it's just a small portion in the back is about breathing.
I'm gonna pause. It looks like Josh Martin has joined. I don't know if he's still in here, but we've been talking about him all night, and he just got the memo and got on. Hasn't said anything, but Josh, if you're still here,
Call in.
give us a call. Yeah, absolutely.
He's my favorite insurance guy.
We've been talking about insurance, and you specifically all evening. Give us a call. And anybody else, too. 720-507-1939. Give us a call. You guys are all pretty shy. But anyway.
Don't berate the customers. This is about customer service.
right,
If they want to listen, they can just
You
listen.
you can listen, for sure. Okay. So, the dogs and the kids. The little kids, too. They don't know. They don't know about clock changing or whatever. They just say, hey, it's dark, it's light, it's day, it's night, whatever. And, they react accordingly. So,
My little grandson is 8 years old. And one of the best things that I've ever done in my life is to create a home that little 8-year-old wants to spend the night over at his grandma's house anytime that he can.
Sure.
That is the thing that he loves more than anything, is to be over at his grandma's house. And
that's wonderful.
that's the best thing. That is the best thing. And he's got great parents, and he plays hockey, and he's got all kinds of fun activities, but he loves to come over to Mimi and Big Papa's house and spend the weekend. And that kid gets up at dawn.
Right.
I mean, dawn. His Mimi has a talk with him every night. Okay, Carson, you have to sleep in till 7.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's up at 4 a.m. I'm up at 4 a.m. half the time. That's why I catch him coming sneaking down here trying to get the iPad.
Maybe he knows. That's how he's going to get it. He's got to sneak out while everyone's still sleeping.
He's up.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, he's up. He's definitely, that kid is a go-getter. He is going to be up and at it.
Yeah.
Russ Cummings just joined. That's a guy. That's a name brand in the computer industry in
Really?
Denver.
Yeah.
He ran a company called Cummings and Associates in Denver when we started Action Computers back in the day. And he was one of the first guys. I think he still owns a computer shop in Arizona. He wised up and went somewhere that was warmer.
Right. That didn't change their time,
Right?
obviously.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's a smart guy.
All right. Wait. So we've got our... I think we're going to end our poll at this point. Oh, somebody is... We're going to end our poll at this point. We've got the what's special about this particular year's Veterans Day. Half of you said it falls on 11/11. That is true, but it happens every year. That's the whole point behind that. And the 100th anniversary of the holiday, that is correct. That's the one. Yeah. And nobody was fooled with it falling on Election Day. I gave it a try, but nobody went for it.
Yeah, that was not good.
You got to have a fun one, right? 1919 was the first year that they celebrated Armistice Day, and now this is the 100th anniversary, kind of a big deal. So that's why we want to feature it tonight.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's very good. I'll do my own quiz.
Okay.
What is the hottest content marketing space for businesses, business personalities, realtors, insurance agents? What is the big content marketing area to do business right now? Instagram?
Okay, maybe. Yeah,
Facebook?
okay. Instagram, Facebook, or
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, Snapchat.
Snapchat?
It's people, yeah. Do you do that?
I only do it because I have to know about that media in the job that I'm in.
I have 2 people I think that I know that Snapchat, but
Oh, my granddaughter snaps all the time.
yeah. No, that's definitely the younger generation. Dating myself here.
But the answer is LinkedIn.
I was gonna guess Facebook.
LinkedIn, well, and Facebook is decent. However, the age demographic is not really the fit that we want for business. And, it doesn't have as much money.
Okay.
Generally, LinkedIn is 34 to 64, and we're dealing with people that have money that want to spend money in the marketplace. And most of the time, everybody has a really difficult time building an audience in Facebook or in LinkedIn and getting those numbers up, and then pushing through with your content into that newly created audience. And that process takes about 6 months. And we offer that as a service for $150 a month to start off with a basic LinkedIn package where an engineer is working your LinkedIn account, building it up, and then showing you how to teach to that base of hand-selected people, like people that are in the range enough to buy a home. We want to reach those people. We don't want to just reach people that are online wanting to look at cartoons.
Sure.
We want to reach people that are spending money. So if you need any help with your business, go to marketinghope.com. And we had a little trouble with our website. Have we fixed that?
Yeah, I think so. I'll take a look at it and see.
Okay. But, reach out to us on the show page or the Marketing Hope Facebook page or me on LinkedIn, and we can help you feel your presence and make your presence known and build your audiences with our patented LinkedIn program. And if you'd like to be a force on LinkedIn, let us know.
That is awesome, yeah.
That's my quiz of
I like that. That's good. All right. Well, we are running out of time here. We went about 20 minutes over what we expected.
Oh, have we?
Oh, we did. Yeah, it was fun.
Are we getting the hook?
Yeah. What do you guys think about
stage?
the live call-in thing? I think it was pretty fun. We got some good calls. I would love to hear more of your voices. Because I'm sure all of you have awesome stories to tell. And that's what
the show is all about.
That's all it's all about. Yeah. And what was I gonna say? How do we subscribe to the podcast part? And just so everyone knows, if you haven't been watching us this whole time, we make our Mark Hope Show podcast, which has a lot of this information here, and we just sort of, we record it and go live, and because it's fun for everyone to sort of watch how we make the show.
This isn't actually the show.
This is not actually the show.
This is actually a show about making the Mark Hope podcast show.
Right.
So it's a show within a show.
And so if you want to listen to the show, the actual show, find us on iTunes and Google Play and Spotify and some other places. It just shows up randomly. But those big ones, look up the Mark Hope Show podcast, like and subscribe. Wait, that's Facebook. Subscribe and leave a comment. And then if you do that, then you'll get notified whenever a new episode comes out.
Or be involved in any of the media and, go on the Facebook page or the LinkedIn page or wherever you can find us and ask the questions that you need answered about your small business. I mean, we're always here to help our listeners and answer questions about, should I do direct mail? Should I do Valpak? What things should I do to help impact my business? Maybe you're a tattoo shop. We have 30 years experience in marketing, and maybe you're a tattoo shop and you should be on Pinterest. Maybe that really is the medium that you should be using. So, don't be afraid to interact with us online and, just chime in, and you can ask questions that you'd like to be answered on next week's show. Everybody always asks me, when is the radio show?
The radio show is every Monday night, 6:30, live on Facebook. We do every Monday.
And then the show rolls out the following week.
Yeah, and
after it's edited.
Yeah, we go through all that stuff and edit and make it special, do all that stuff, and then you can find it there. Also YouTube.
Also YouTube.
YouTube and
YouTube's a monster.
Yeah.
We love YouTube.
Yeah, find the Mark Hope Show on YouTube, and there you go. All right, lead these guys out. We gotta do something technical here real quick. So make sure this doesn't crash on us here. All right. Guys, thanks for listening. I know there's still a couple people left. And if you guys want to catch us next week, we'll be here. We'd love talking to everybody. I think we'll probably do the call-in thing again. In between our regular guests, we'll have it available. It's sort of something we were demoing tonight, and it worked out pretty well. And I want to keep it going. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right.
Thank you for all your support, and definitely like and subscribe and hook up with us and be a part of the show, because you are the show.
Yeah, check out
we appreciate you guys.
The Mark Hope Show podcast page and group on Facebook. That's where a lot of the discussion happens, and it's good stuff. So definitely jump in there, and that'll give you an idea, and will be a reminder of when we're going to go live again. That's all right. So here we go. Signing off, and we'll see you next week.